A while ago I was looking for ways to put up my hair so that I could practice, and this looks a little disheveled now, but this is the end result that has worked the best. I had to try it out for a little while before I really got to a point where I thought I could like share it. I found a lot of videos and some were like, just cut your hair, like, well, that's not helpful, and I don't think you should have to. I think you're worth investing in, and you should not have to do that. So there's something basic that would help first. I'm using 3 hair ties. I think that's also really important. There's one video that was like double up on hair ties every time, like here and at the end, and so I don't really do that a lot, but alright, so if you have hair that goes like all the way down your back, and this will be helpful if you do exercise and you want it to go out of the way, if you do any kind of martial art where you're on the ground or standing, or like have a gi and somebody's trying to like hold on to your collar, or whatever that is. Forgive this, my hair is growing back from being shaved on the sides, but so I think first things first, you should get used to this. There's braiding, and braiding has a time and a place, but for this, if even without being brushed, if you spin your hair in 2 sections the same exact direction and then twist it the opposite direction as you're holding it, and twisting it the same direction, crisscrossing the opposite direction. So I'm going to the left with both sides and then crisscrossing it to the right. If you get used to this, this is what a tighter hold than a braid. And if you put a ponytail first, yeah, it's finally long enough. Okay, so right here on the back of your head, not laying down in the back, because sometimes if you're laying down that gets stuck. If it's too high up, that is also really uncomfortable. So if it's right in the middle of, like, I don't even know what this part is called, whatever, the back part of your head, a comfortable space that is slightly higher than you probably think. It takes the weight off of it hanging in the back, and then split it in half. And do the ice cream thing. So you're going to twist it the same direction. You can pick whichever direction you want. My hair just naturally does it this way, so I do it that way. And then, okay, yeah, if you get stuck, then figure out which way you're twisting. I'm going this way, so if you do it wrong, it's like gonna be weird. So you'll know because it won't hold right. So if you twist it, upside down, it's basically working against itself like a rope. And if you keep going all the way to the end of your hair and do it as tight as you can, hasn't really mattered how tight this part is, as long as it stays. Okay, so one at the end. Alright, this is the only way that it's actually stayed during practice. If I take this rope and I tie an actual knot, tried other kinds of like ways of like doing this. I did 2 at once, and then that was actually really helpful, like doing 2 ponytails right here and then twisting each one and then twisting them together, but it just made a mess on the top and it didn't always stay, so it felt like it wasn't worth it. Okay, so the important part is the tail. You can do it in the front or the back depending on what you prefer, but for the sake of a video, I'm going to put it in the front. So then you're going to take something stretchier. You can use whatever you want, but make sure you grab the tail and keep it right there. So this has been the most secure hold, and I've only actually had an issue with it once, and it wasn't even an issue. I just had kept it in for too long, and it was starting to not be as secure, and then it got hit, and then it kind of like came out. But the only thing that came out was the tail, and it like unfolded, so I refolded it, and it happened super fast. So if you're looking for a way to do your hair, I think braids have a time and a place, and those are super awesome because it's evenly distributed. I just don't have time to do that like all the time, especially if you're gonna practice more than once a week. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy figuring that out. This is also something you can learn called a flat braid, and you can start it like a French braid, except for it's only 2 strands, and so it gets pretty close to your head, and you can do them as tight or as loose as you want, and it can still be well worth it. So have fun. Remember, same direction, opposite direction, and it will make a very secure way to do your hair.